What's up, everybody? TJ and Carrie here with Muscle Growth Mindset. We're going to talk about drinking and lifting, right?
Great combo.
Not together. So alcohol, alcohol obviously can have some effects on your training, right? If you've ever gone to the gym hungover, you know that alcohol can hurt training, right?
Absolutely.
So we want to get more into, like, what if I have a couple of drinks with dinner, and is it going to hurt me tomorrow? Or if I drink on occasion, how bad does it really affect my training? So we're going to get a little bit into that on how much, what levels kind of, how much are you drinking and what's it actually doing to your body?
Yeah.
So I go out and I have a drink, right? What's that doing to me?
Right, so one drink is going to put you right around, depending on your body weight. If you're a little girl, it might increase you. If you're a big, strong, muscular guy, it might be less. It's going to put you about at the 0.02 blood alcohol content. And what that's going to do, so first off, alcohol at any level is going to increase your dopamine. Dopamine is the feel good. So when you get a drink, you're going to start feeling good. After that, it starts lowering your inhibitions, which is your bad decision maker. Then it decreases your ability to multitask by a small amount. So it doesn't have a whole lot of effect on your coordination or anything at that point. And there's a few studies that show after one drink, you get a small boost in testosterone.
Wow, so it doesn't sound all that bad.
No.
You feel good, testosterone goes up.
Right?
I'm saying I'm all for drinking. Okay, it does, like you said, there is some decision-making effects there. You're probably not going to feel it. It's not going to, make you go home with that girl or guy that you don't want to go home with at this level, but it is going to skew your decision-making a little bit. Obviously, we get further into this, the decision-making gets a lot worse.
Right.
All these things get worse. And know that these things are typically compounded, so you have one drink, your dopamine is increased, right? It feels good. The more you drink, the better you feel to a point, right? With most of the things, it's going to be like that. Like if I have a loss of coordination, the more I drink, the less coordinated I'm going to be. But with testosterone, that's different, though.
Absolutely.
So say I drink a little more, I get to that 0.05 level, which could be, depending on your size and metabolism and everything, it could be 2-3 drinks.
Right.
Maybe starting to feel a little buzz. So what happens there?
Well, definitely there, your coordination and your alertness start dropping. They say it's the small muscle groups, which are basically your hand-eye coordination. That lowers. At that point, most of the studies show that with the level amount is like 0.5 grams to 1 gram per kilogram of body weight, that your testosterone will have a small decrease. So, one other thing is that they've showed in a test on rugby players that the next day, 24 hours later, that your power output is decreased. So definitely adverse effects in a couple different ways on your workout the next day.
Okay, so here we are. We've had a couple of drinks. You can still drive. You still feel good. You're not going to be hungover most likely, but we're starting to see the negative effects from in the training. So even though you may not feel it, you may not even notice the next day when you get to the gym, but just know that there's those underlying effects. Your dehydration's starting to take place at this point too. If you haven't had enough fluids and not taking in a lot of fluids before you go train the next day, even with a couple of drinks, you could go into the training dehydrated. So already at this point, without being drunk, you're starting to negatively affect your training.
So 0.05 is below the legal limit.
Yeah. So the legal limit, that's 0.08.
Right.
And that doesn't take a lot. That's just be 3-4 drinks.
For small people, 3 or 4 drinks. For big people, around 6 maybe.
Yeah, and that's you got to know, this is if you take 3-4 shots in a row, or 3-4 drinks over an hour or 2 hours, it's going to be different. But at this point, you're legally intoxicated, legally drunk, right? You get pulled over, you're going to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what are some other effects that are happening with your body when you get to this level?
That's when you start getting the thinking going south, the lack of reasoning, your concentration. You might make an error in judgment, and a small one or a big one. Who are you? Where did you come from?
Yeah.
Those are when those things happen. Your speech may be impaired unless maybe you're practiced at it, but that's when people start slurring the words. And we talked about dehydration, it definitely gets worse at this point. Now, for the effects for muscle growth, your growth hormone is at this point shown to take a hit, which we don't want that. Testosterone is definitely shown to take a hit, a bigger hit than at the 0.05 level, and then you get an increase in cortisol.
Which is stress hormone, right?
Stress hormone.
Cortisol is bad.
Generally, in large amounts, it's bad.
Okay.
It serves a purpose in the body, but we don't want excessive amounts of it.
There's going to be reasons to raise your cortisol levels where it's beneficial, but
Yep.
you don't want alcohol to be that reason.
No.
Okay, so here we are. We're legally drunk. Now, definitely training's a bad idea.
Right.
You've definitely affected your training. You've affected your results at this point. You're dehydrated. You increase your risk of injury. Go to the gym the next day. Your performance is going to be down. Power output's down. Testosterone's down. Growth hormone's down. Cortisol's up. This is a recipe for disaster at this point.
And this is, if you've done this, I'm sure you've noticed the next day. You felt it.
Yeah.
Probably had a hangover, head hurt.
Yeah, it's your training suffers. Okay, so take it to the next level here. We're going to get drunk.
Okay,
Like
so blackout.
Yeah. Like 0.15, and some people may not be blackout drunk. There's some people that can walk around just fine at this level, but, whether it's, you or not, still at this 0.5 level, sometimes you get to the point of vomiting.
Yeah.
What are some other things?
Falling down drunk. And I do want to say that 0.08 is when you should be taking a cab. 0.15 is when everyone knows you should be taking a cab.
Yeah, there's no question.
It's obvious. A very experienced drunk may not show all these symptoms, but it's still, you can tell. So loss of balance, vomiting, coordination, slurred speech, loud. It's pretty easy to tell when you're that drunk. The attention span's lowered. One of the major things to take away that you need to remember, if you go out and get blackout drunk, you get this hammered, that it shows about a 25% decrease in testosterone the next day. And it can happen faster. They showed people taking shots of vodka to get to this point. 90 minutes later, the testosterone was lowered.
Wow.
Yeah.
25%. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a big hit on your testosterone levels.
Yeah.
Now, didn't we see something about women versus men here?
Women generally have a lesser decrease in the testosterone. Some of them don't even show a result in the decrease in testosterone.
We're not giving you the okay to go out and get drunk, ladies. It's still going to have all the other negative effects.
Right.
Testosterone is a different hormone in men versus women.
Right.
It affects things differently.
Women have a lot less testosterone circulating, so it's hard to take a big hit on that. So.
Okay. All right, now we get a little personal here. I mean, Kerry has a little bit of experience here. He's had his days of drinking a little bit. And he's been training. He's been in the gym for years, right?
Yeah.
You've been lifting for a long time.
So I was a bartender for a long time, 23 to 37, and drinking a lot, going out frequently. And I would go in with the worst hangovers, and it would get frustrating to go in for a month straight and not see a lot of results, working hard, making it through workouts where I was hungover the entire workout. And I didn't see a lot of growth until I decided to quit drinking. And then results happened fast. I was working hard. I was putting in the effort, drop sets, extra weight, everything I could do. And, I was young and stupid. I couldn't figure it out. Didn't want to.
Yeah. And when you're young and stupid like that, you should be growing. I mean, that's the time where you should be, just looking at weights and growing.
Yeah.
But this just shows like the effects of, that alcohol can have. He's sitting there training his ass off, but because he was drinking too often, he was hungover, his performance was probably down, even though he went in there and got the job done. Your body's not going to respond, your hormones are off, it's having a lot of adverse effects.
So if you want to know, I've performed my own personal experiments. I don't recommend going out drinking often and training the next day. It's not good.
Thanks for doing that for me, Gary. Yeah, if you've I think a lot of you have been there. I know I've been in hungover a few times, and it's not fun. But it definitely, the science proves it. It's gonna affect your training. You're not gonna get strength gains like you would. You're not gonna build muscle like you would. So, and this is also like, we're just talking about one night of going out and drinking. Like, if you do this consistently, right?
Compounds.
All these effects
over time.
compound. So if you're having a couple of drinks every night, you know, that 0.05, 0.08, getting a buzz, having a good time. If you do this, maybe you feel okay, but maybe you don't feel all the effects, but they're happening inside your body. So whether you feel like your training's effective or not, it is.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe you feel like, for example, you feel like normal because you drink every night and you don't realize, but then you're not growing, and it gets frustrating.
Yeah, and don't think too, I mean, this is a thing which I see this in other areas, but like people go to the gym and they do get results. So, you know, maybe you go to the gym, you've been drinking every night and you're making some progress. Man, my bench has gone up 50 pounds in the past 3 months, so screw you guys. Well, guess what? It probably could have went up 75 or 100 pounds. So
Yeah.
you're not doing things efficiently if you're drinking.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't. I drink. You know, I go out and I have a couple of drinks on occasion. You know, I love my margaritas. So it's good to have balance, but just know that, you know, it is going to suffer. Like your training's going to suffer, and especially long-term effects of doing this regularly are going to be negative.
And as we talked about at the 0.02 marker, which is right, one drink, you can go out and have one drink and be happy and do that 3 nights a week. Should be fine. There's no indication of any long-term or even next day adverse effects for one drink 3 nights a week.
We're not saying like a drink here.
We're talking about 0.02%, which means like if you're a tiny woman, it might be a half a drink. If you're a 90-pound woman, you know, go train the next day after a half a drink. For a guy, it might be a 23-ounce beer. But the effect on the BAC needs to be, it's grams per kilogram in the scientific annotation. So just however much gets you there or past so you can judge. It's easier just to abstain most of the time.
Okay. All right, well, you know, so we know now alcohol affects your training in a negative way. Let's talk diet here. You know,
Right.
Alcohol, I mean, they're not the best calories for you. Alcohol is a little different than carbs, fats, and proteins. It's 7 calories per gram versus 4 or 9, depending on carbs, protein, fats. But they burn a little different.
And that's some weird things I found in the research. The strange thing about it is that they don't fully understand why. But so it's 7 calories per gram, and for some reason, and they've come up with a lot of theories, but they don't know exactly why, it doesn't burn quite the same. So if you had 700 calories of alcohol in one sitting, which is going to put you like at the 0.08, if you had 700 calories of alcohol, it's not going to burn like 700 calories of sugar or of fat. It's going to probably affect more like 300, 350, 400 calories.
Yeah, it uses a different metabolic pathway, and it actually burns faster, I guess. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but just for understanding, like those calories, they burn faster. So, I mean, it sounds good,
Yeah.
but that doesn't make it okay. But yeah, just know, like if you're getting a 700 calorie drink or 700 calories from alcohol,
Right. It's a big drink.
versus 700 calories from, you know, ice cream. The ice cream's going to make you fatter.
Yes.
Right? You're not going to burn it off as fast. You actually do burn alcohol off faster. So it's just an interesting thing to know.
Yeah, the rumors about alcohol calories not even counting, that's not true, but they are different.
Yeah.
So
that's tricky. We're not telling you this to
yeah.
like make it okay to go drink. Oh, they burn faster. We can drink more.
Yeah.
Not what we're getting at, but just want to educate you and just so you know. Like I said, they don't really know exactly why.
The metabolic pathway is a theory. They've got some others. That metabolic pathway sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, you know, alcohol is not going to be good for your training. It's not going to be good for progress. Said it's enjoy life. If you want to go out with your friends, have a couple of drinks, that's fine. But just know, the more you do it, the more negative effect on your training. So,
Trust me.
Yeah, speaking from experience. Yeah, hopefully this educated you some. If you have more questions, let us know. Write it in the comments. If you know something we don't know, write it in the comments. We're wanting to learn too.
Yeah. Feel free to ask us questions. And don't forget rule number 1.
See you next week.